Hey guys, Richard Hislop here, freedomlifenow.com. How's it going? In this video, we're going to talk about how to maximize your productivity in your business with the 80-20 principle. And when you got a lot of things going on, you got goals that you're trying to hit by the end of the year. I'm actually in this setting as well. We all are. We're going into Q4. We're all making that big push for where we want to be, where we want to end up, the goals that we want to reach by the end of the year, guys. And it's time to push, right? We all have the days where we feel less productive or we're overwhelmed by the tasks that we have in hand. I have those days. Everyone has those days. It's not about if you have those days. It's more about, hey, what do we do when we have those days, right? How do we maximize our productivity? How do we change the state that we're in, get focused, get things done? And how do we create a system where we can really do that consistently while we're pushing through Q4 or whatever quarter we're in or whatever time we're in, a season when we have all this stuff that we wanted to do. You guys know that I'm in a big push myself trying to get new things live on the market, new products that I'm working on as far as with my self-publishing business and other things going on as well with other business. And so I'm just like having multiple things going on, trying to figure out, how to just take things to the next level, hit my goals by the end of the year, and how to maximize, how to get there faster. And one of the things that you need to look at when you do this is the key is, hey, you need to ask yourself, how can I get things done faster? So set a time, set a date. Everything that you have should have a specific deadline date that you have for it, right? Those projects. You should break it down. If you have a certain goal by the end of the year, break down what you need to do each month. So we're looking at the 4 quarters, right? So we have half of September left, then October, November, and December. So really 3.5 months. So, like what you need to ask yourself, and what I always say is, okay, well, let me break it down. What are my highest leverage activities? What are the most important things I have? We have like a couple weeks left in September. I asked myself, what would be awesome if I accomplished and be out of this world, just awesome if I could accomplish by the end of September that's actually doable. And then I figure out, hey, how can I maybe outsource certain things, certain tasks that can speed that process up? So that's one thing. Maybe I can go on places like Upwork, Fiverr, websites like that, and outsource some of the tasks that I'm thinking that I'm going to need to do. Maybe I can find other people and hire other VAs, virtual assistants, other people to really knock out some of those things for me, and so that I can actually accomplish more than I thought I could. So if you can plan out, if you can actually say, hey, what would be great for me to accomplish to be on track for my end of year goals, you break it down per month, and you say, hey, well, in the next month and a half, what do I need to accomplish to be on track for my year-end goal? Okay, so we kind of know that. You kind of brainstorm that. You say, hey, I really need to get these, and this thing done. You get a list. Sit down and really get that list, right? And then work backwards from there and say, okay, now I think all of that's going to take me a month and a half to do. So now how can I do that? You need to approach it and say, how can I do this in half the time? Because when you plan that and then you force your brain to say, okay, yeah, you want to get that done in a month and a half, but now find a way to do it in half the time, you all of a sudden force your brain to start being creative about solutions. And that's how we can really accelerate our business and our goals past, just getting we basically can ensure that we hit our goals that way, and we can get twice as much done in a certain period of time than maybe other people do. And you can even take that further. How do I get it a quarter of done? How do I get that, done in 25% of the time? And you can kind of keep just going down. But what the goal is, find a way. You find the way or you make the way. You force your brain to become resourceful in the fact that you are going to figure out how to get the same result for less work, less time of effort on your part, right? Whether that's outsourcing certain parts of the task and things like that. So that's what you need to do. You need to have a brainstorming session. Figure out, okay, what is really what we're going to do? And this is where the 80-20 principle comes in, right? We know, and the 80-20 principle states that, really, and this happens in business, it's in life, that really 80% of your income really ends up coming from 20% of your actual work that you put in, 20% of the results, 20% of the effort, right, produces 80% of the results. And so if you can narrow down with this, okay, what is the most important 20% actions, and ignore all the rest. So I say, what are the highest leverage actions? That's what goes back. That's the 20%. That if I do these, they actually will get me that result that I'm after. It'll get me 80% of the result of my goal. And so I'm constantly asking myself, okay, what are the highest things? What are the things I do right now that hit the goal, that get me there faster, that get me there? And I focus on those, forget the rest. Forget the other 80% of work, of tasks and things like that. And sometimes that's hard to do, but if you can force yourself to do that and just focus on that 20%, the things that get you to the goal, the things that allow you to get to the goal, the things that are the stepping stones to be able to get to the goal, those things, get them done as soon as possible, get them done ASAP. That's the 20% you're focusing on. And then figure out, hey, can I go on Upwork? Can I hire a VA? Can I go on Fiverr? Can I outsource certain tasks to help me with that 20%? And this can apply to any business. The thing is, a lot of people are just like, man, I've got all this work to do, and I want to get it done in the next 2 months. But they fail to then go the next step. They fail to go to the next step to say, what can I outsource? How can I get it done in half the time or 25% of the time? They stop there, and they don't force their brain to figure out solutions and ways to get it done way faster. And the people that do that they're the people that bypass the other people that hit their goals on the exact deadlines. And what you're going to find is sometimes it even takes that extra effort to really be able to hit that goal and to crush your goals the right way and the effective way. So always look for the 20% of effort, the highest leverage activities that really produce the income, that produce the results, that produce the traffic, that produce the sales, that produce whatever your goal is, right, in your business, and focus on the 20%. There was a great book that really introduced that to me when I was first getting started in online business and entrepreneurship. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I've done a video on that on my YouTube channel as well. It's not an extensive video, but talks a little bit about the book and some major takeaways I've had. But that book really opened my eyes to outsourcing. It really opened my eyes to developing the muse, being able to automate a business. Tim Ferriss talks about all about that in the book. He talks about how he went from and I'll try to put a link below to the book or the video, but he talks about how he grew this major supplement business, and he was a very successful entrepreneur, but he was making $40,000 a month in this brain supplement business that he owned at the time. He's since sold this business, but he's a multimillionaire entrepreneur and investor, but he was making around $40,000 a month, but he was working 80 hours a week. And he talks about how through the techniques that I'm talking about here in this video, he actually scaled his business. He doubled his business, and he went from $40,000 a month to $80,000 a month by only working 4 hours a week instead of 80, right? So he scaled it back. And how did he do that? He did it through the 80-20 principle. He did it through outsourcing tasks, hiring a team, raising up people to take off certain things for him so he didn't have to man the load all himself. He became super resourceful, and that's what the book's all about. And it helped me understand that I need to, when I was first starting off, that I always constantly need to find ways to where I cannot do things. That's the thing. You want to find ways where you can actually do less and accomplish more. And you do that through just concepts of figuring out. And sometimes you're even doing the work, but by you being resourceful and asking yourself, hey, even by me doing the work, how can I get this certain task done in half the time? And it forces your brains to come up with solutions rather than just saying, yeah, it's going to take me 2 weeks or 30 days or whatever the time is. Then ask yourself, well, how can I get the same result in actually half the time? Right? Because the result's what you're after, right? It's not just even getting the task done. If you're after a particular result, ask yourself, okay, this result, it's going to take me, let's say, 30 days to do. And then you can say, well, that end result, whatever that end result is, how can I accomplish that outcome, that end result, in actually half the time? And figure that out, and then just do that. And forget about your 30-day plan. Do the plan that gets you there in half the time. So guys, with that, focus, find the things, find the highest leverage activities in your business, in your life, that are only the 20% actions that get you to the 80% of the results. Figure out how to do things in half the time, how to do them much faster to get the same outcome, and then forget the rest. Throw the rest of the list to the side and focus on that 20%. Get it done, crush out your goals, and that's how you can maximize your productivity, get way more done, and focus on that 80-20 principle. So guys, with that, I'm at my destination, so I need to run. I hope this video was helpful. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification for more awesome videos and releasing stuff. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.